The small planet hung silent in the vast darkness of space. Embers of destroyed buildings flickered like dying fireflies across a landscape of total devastation. Among the broken rocks and twisted metal, a young alien girl named Hyun sat completely alone. Her species, the Virani, had been beautiful once. They were known across 3 star systems for their complex communication and advanced scientific knowledge. Now, they were gone. Completely wiped out by the merciless Krell Collective, a ruthless civilization that consumed worlds like hungry monsters, destroying everything in their path. Hyun was small, her silvery skin covered in dust and dried blood. She watched the empty sky, knowing no one was coming to save her. Her family had been killed during the initial attack. Her parents had hidden her beneath a fallen communication tower, whispering urgent instructions to stay quiet, to stay hidden. "Do not move," her mother had said, her voice trembling. "Stay silent." Those were the last words Hyun heard before explosions consumed everything around her. She remembered the bright flashes, the screaming, the ground shaking like an angry beast. Then silence, complete and total silence. Days passed. Hyun survived by drinking collected rainwater and eating small plants that grew between destroyed buildings. Her people's technology was scattered everywhere, complex machines now broken and useless. Each day she wondered if someone would come. Each night she hoped. The planet itself seemed dead. No birds sang, no wind moved. Just absolute stillness and the occasional crackle of burning debris. Hyun's silver skin had turned pale gray from dust and exhaustion. Her large eyes, once bright with curiosity, now looked tired and lost. She knew her chances of survival were almost zero. The Krell were thorough. They didn't leave survivors. They destroyed entire civilizations, erasing every trace of life. Hyun was probably the last of her kind, a single spark in a universe of darkness. On the 7th day, something changed. A distant sound. A vibration. Something different from the dead silence that had surrounded her for days. Hyun's heart began to race. Was it another attack? More destruction? Or something else? She remembered her father's lessons about survival. Stay hidden. Stay quiet. Watch. Listen. Learn. The sound grew louder. A mechanical humming mixed with a low rumble. Something was approaching. Something large. Hyun pressed herself deeper into the shadows of the destroyed communication tower, making herself as small as possible. Her breathing became shallow. Her heart pounded so hard she was certain whatever was approaching would hear it. Sweat formed on her silver skin, creating little trails through the layers of dust. Then she saw it, a massive shape in the sky, not like the Krell ships that had destroyed her world. This was different, sleeker. Stranger. A ship she had never seen before moved slowly across the broken landscape, scanning the ground with bright light beams. Hyun didn't move. She didn't breathe. She watched. The ship moved, closer. Its lights swept across the ruins, revealing destruction in sharp, clear detail. If it saw her, would it destroy her too? Or was this something different? For the first time in days, a tiny spark of hope flickered in Hyun's heart. Maybe, just maybe, something might change. Maybe she wasn't totally alone in the universe. But hope was a dangerous thing in a world that had already taken everything from her. As the ship's lights continued to scan the ruined planet, Hyun waited, watched, and wondered what would happen next. The starship horizon moved slowly across the dead planet's surface, its scanning beams cutting through layers of dust and destruction. Captain J. Park stood perfectly still on the bridge, his eyes locked on the holographic display showing the planet's terrain. "Something's not right," he muttered to his first officer, Yoon Kim. The ship's sensors had picked up a faint life signal, weak, but definitely present. Most captains would have ignored it. Most crews would have continued their mission without a second thought. But something about this signal was different. Yoon checked the readings again. "It's tiny," she said, "barely registering. Could be an equipment malfunction." Jay shook his head. His gut told him something else was happening. Years of space exploration had taught him to trust those small feelings, the ones that didn't make sense but somehow meant everything. "Prepare a landing team," he ordered. The crew looked surprised. Landing on a dead planet wasn't standard procedure. But they trusted their captain. J. Park wasn't known for making random decisions. The landing shuttle dropped through the planet's thin atmosphere. Dust clouds swirled around its metal hull. 4 crew members sat inside. 2 security officers, a medical specialist and a reconnaissance expert. They wore protective suits designed to handle unknown environments. As they touched down, something felt wrong. The silence was complete. No wind. No movement. Just absolute stillness. The team's scanner began moving across the terrain. Broken buildings, destroyed technology, complete devastation. Then a tiny heat signature, barely visible, almost hidden. "There," whispered Dr. Wu, the medical specialist. Her hand pointed to a small area near a collapsed communication tower. The security team moved carefully, each step calculated, each movement precise. They had seen destroyed worlds before. They knew the dangers. Then they saw her. Hyun looked like a statue made of silver and dust. Her body was so still that she might have been part of the landscape. But she was alive, barely. Dr. Wu approached first. Her medical scanner moved slowly over Hyun's small body. The readings were complicated. This wasn't a human child. This was something entirely different. "She's severely dehydrated," Dr. Wu reported. "Multiple minor injuries, malnourished, but alive." The security team looked uncertain. Alien rescue wasn't part of their standard mission protocols. Some wanted to leave her. Some argued about potential contamination risks, but Captain J. Park's voice came through their communication system. Clear, firm, decisive. "Bring her aboard," he said. No explanation, no long speech, just a simple command. Dr. Wu carefully lifted Hyun. The alien girl was so light, so fragile. Her eyes were open but didn't seem to see anything. She didn't struggle, didn't fight, just existed. The shuttle lifted off, carrying its unexpected passenger back to the horizon. In the medical bay, Dr. Wu began the complex process of treating an alien life form. Nothing in her training had prepared her for this. No standard medical protocols worked perfectly. She would have to improvise. Captain J watched through the medical bay's glass window. Something about this rescue felt different, important. Hyun lay on the medical bed, surrounded by machines that blinked and hummed. Her silver skin seemed to glow under the bright medical lights. She looked lost, alone, but she was alive. And sometimes, in the vast darkness of space, being alive was enough. The horizon continued its journey, carrying its unexpected passenger into the unknown. A rescue that made no sense. A moment that would change everything. Days passed slowly on the horizon. Hyun remained in the medical bay, her body fighting to recover. Dr. Wu worked like a scientist and an artist, mixing human medical knowledge with careful guesses about alien physiology. The ship's crew watched with growing curiosity. Most of them had never seen an alien this close. Hyun wasn't like the scary monsters in Space Stories. She was small, fragile, scared. Her first real moment of awareness came unexpectedly. A young technician named Park Jun was checking medical equipment when Hyun's eyes suddenly opened. They were large, silver, full of fear and confusion. She tried to speak, but no sound came out. Her body was weak, her muscles barely responded, but her eyes, they spoke volumes. They asked questions without words. "Where am I? What happened? Who are you?" Jun stayed calm. He understood fear. He had seen it many times in refugee camps during humanity's own difficult years. He slowly pushed a small cup of water close to her. Hyun's hand moved, shaky, uncertain. She didn't trust the water, didn't trust anything around her. Her entire world had been destroyed. Why should she trust these strangers? But hunger and thirst are powerful motivations. She took the cup, drank slowly. Captain J visited the medical bay twice each day. He wasn't a medical expert, but something about Hyun's survival interested him. How could such a small creature survive total destruction? Dr. Wu explained her findings. Hyun's species had unique healing abilities. Her body could recover from injuries that would kill a human. Her metabolism was different. Her cellular structure more complex. She's remarkable, Dr. Wu said. Absolutely remarkable. Slowly, Hyun began to understand her situation. The humans weren't going to hurt her. They had saved her. But why? Her own people would never have done this for a stranger. Communication was difficult. Hyun's language was complex, a mixture of sound, light, and subtle body movements. Human. Translators struggled, but they were making progress. One evening, Hyun spoke her first complete sentence in human language. It was simple. Direct, why did you save me? Captain J, who happened to be in the medical bay, looked surprised. Such a simple question, but with such deep meaning. Because you were alive, he answered. Hyun didn't understand. In her world, survival was about strength, about power, about eliminating weakness. These humans were different. They had saved her despite knowing nothing about her. The ship's crew began teaching her. Small lessons, basic human words, how to use their communication systems, how to move in artificial gravity, how to understand their technology. Hyun was a quick learner. Her brain processed information differently from humans. What would take a human weeks, she learned in days. Her curiosity was endless. She discovered human stories, human music, human emotions. Everything was new, everything was strange. The crew watched her transformation, from a scared, broken survivor to something else, something stronger. More confident, Captain J noticed something else. Hyun was gathering information, not just learning, but understanding, analyzing. Her species might have been destroyed, but her intelligence remained powerful. Weeks passed. Hyun's strength returned. Her body healed. Her mind expanded. She was no longer just a survivor. She was becoming something more. A bridge between two different species. A living connection between worlds that had never understood each other. And the horizon continued its journey through the silent, dark spaces between stars. The communication room buzzed with tension. Hyun stood in the center, her silver skin reflecting the holographic star maps around her. She had spent weeks sharing information about the Krell, the civilization that destroyed her world. Captain J listened carefully. Each detail mattered. The Krell weren't just another enemy. They were a systematic threat to multiple galactic civilizations. They have a weakness, Hyun explained. Her voice was calm now. No longer the scared survivor. She had become something else. A warrior. A strategist. The hologram showed complex attack patterns. Massive Krell battleships moved like deadly machines across star systems. They consumed worlds, destroyed civilizations, left nothing behind. But Hyun knew their secrets. Her people had studied the Krell for generations. They understood something that no other civilization had discovered. The Krell had a central communication network, one primary control system that connected all their ships. Destroy that system and the entire fleet would become blind, disconnected. It's here, she pointed. A small blue dot appeared on the star map. A tiny system most would consider insignificant. Military experts on the horizon studied the information. They had powerful ships, good technology. But the Krell were considered unbeatable. No civilization had ever successfully challenged them. Yoon Kim, the first officer, looked skeptical. This seems impossible, she said. Hyun smiled, a human gesture she had learned. Impossible is just a word humans use before they do something amazing. Captain J made a decision. They would attack, not because it was safe, but because it was right. Preparation took days. Every ship system was checked, every weapon calibrated. The crew worked like a single organism, connected, focused, Hyun became their guide. She understood Krell technology better than anyone. She showed them how to bypass their defense systems, how to move between their communication channels. The human fleet was small, only 5 ships. Against thousands of Krell vessels, they looked like children fighting giants. But they had something the Krell didn't understand. Something more powerful than technology. They had hope. They had determination. The first attack came suddenly. The horizon moved like a ghost through Krell space. Silent. Unexpected. Their weapons were precise. Each shot calculated, Krell ships began to fall. First 1, then 10, then hundreds. Their communication network collapsed. Ships became isolated, lost, confused. Hyun watched from the bridge. Her small hands controlled complex computer systems. She was no longer just a survivor. She was a weapon. A strategy. Captain J understood something important. This wasn't just a battle. This was a message. Humans would protect those who couldn't protect themselves. The battle lasted hours, but it felt like seconds. Krell ships exploded like beautiful, terrible fireworks across the dark space. When silence finally came, something had changed. The universe looked different. Hyun looked at the human crew. They had saved her. Now they had saved countless other civilizations. "We did it," she whispered. Captain J smiled. A simple human gesture that meant everything. "No," he said. "We did it together." The horizon moved forward, damaged but unbroken, carrying a new hope, a new understanding. The stars around them seemed to shine a little brighter, as if they were celebrating a victory that no one had thought possible.